Exciting things happened yesterday. Valentina got the back of this painted, but a couple of guys stepped on this that we had here, and we got to paint it again. So what happened was, first of all, I'll show you something I worked on yesterday. You're going to hear chirping because I have exciting news about that. So I put this in yesterday. I need to seal it now around the inside and do some final touches to it. But while that was happening, yesterday I did screws in the bottom of this lag screws because the inspector had asked me to reinforce that deck out there. And when I was out there, I looked up and I saw we had a meter on our house, which means possible power. Well, Valentina and I couldn't get it going, but I had the electrician coming out yesterday to hook the water heater up. And when I told him I had the meter on the house, he's like, well, then you've got power. So they went around and they got everything turned on. We have a refrigerator. We have ice. We've got hot water, we got cold water, we got an oven that's on, works, AC works. We turned everything on. There was a few things that weren't working and little glitches and stuff, but we got everything going. I got the plumber out here last night about 8 o'clock because the water heater was slightly leaking, and he got that fixed, and the well is pumping really well, so everything is great. We got electricity, we got power, everything's on. But this smoke alarm and this smoke alarm is going to keep chirping until I take these red things off and then pull the little yellow tabs on them. Electrician said he suggests us not pull all that apart until we're ready to move in and there's no more dust, because what happens is when we clean this, when we sand this, and we're doing all this stuff, that will fly up in the air and can clog those and ruin them. So the other option, he said, is if you don't want it to chirp, I could take the red thing off, pull the yellow tab, and then put the red thing back on. And then once we're completely done, we can remove that red thing. So it's up to us. I don't know how long I'll be able to stand the chirping, but he said if I remove that yellow tab and then we turn power off, it's going to chirp like crazy because there's nothing going to be to go between the battery and the connection anymore. So when we disconnect, these are hardwired, it'll start beeping all the time. So I'll try to endure for a while anyway. I'm going to try to do something exciting. I'm going to try to do a load of laundry today. And burned up the sander the other day, so I bought another one. I got some things to do today. I'm getting kind of started late because I went to Home Depot and bought some stuff. But anyway, let's get going on this. First things first, I think I'm going to maybe get the laundry going, and then I'll work on the bathtub. You guys, I think I've been working on building this house for a year or something. I mean, I've been starting clearing the road. It's been about a year and a half. Doing everything myself. Yeah, I had electrical and plumbing and drywall done and just had gutters. Other than that, I did everything myself with a little help from my family. This is exciting. I have wash going. This is super exciting. Yes, last night was emotional, actually. I didn't realize Valentina had some tears and was crying a little bit, but I was just happy and excited. But when I got home and then kind of crashing stuff, it was emotionally charged yesterday, getting power and water and everything working. So I also forgot I need to go out and I need to add air to that tank out there in the well. The plumber checked it and he said it's shy 2 psi. It's set at like 30-50 right now, our PSI, or our water pressure. But I want to change it to 40-60 because I want a little bit more pressure in the house. So I need to go out there and air it up to 38 psi. So if it doesn't rain, it rained a lot this last night, so there's some puddles and it's really muddy. It's been raining a little bit every day, so it's just enough that it's kind of a mess to be out there. But I'm going to do what I can inside today, and if it doesn't rain for a couple hours, maybe I'll go out and do some outside stuff. So everybody has their ups and downs, or their bad and their positives about them, but I really like our plumber in a lot of ways. He's not a licensed guy, but he's been doing it for 25 years. I don't know his backstory, I don't know much about him. He's from a couple towns over, and once I got him out here and he started doing the job, he does a good job. And this is why I appreciate, he seems to take pride, and he's actually a little bit arrogant in a way, in the fact that he's like, he's like, whatever I do, you'll pass code, or you'll pass whatever all the time. So I like that kind of attitude, that he does a good job. Well, I ran the wash and I don't see any water leaked out, and he told me he was the one that actually climbed back there and put this in the beginning. He's like, I made sure, like, our water wasn't on and our power wasn't on, so there was no way to really test it. But he's like, I made sure that you shouldn't have any leaks and it's all hooked up right. And I don't see a drip coming out anywhere. So ran our first load, everything worked. I'm very happy. And now running the dryer, see how that goes. It's exciting. It might seem silly, but when you build a house and it took you 1.5 years to get to that point, it's surprising how, like, wow, it's all just to know that you built the house and it all is coming together. So, all right, I'm caulking, or putting stuff on this silicone stuff. I put it on here on the inside. This is something that I researched, and it said your glass should end up about 3/4 of an inch in from here. This thing, I think, the way I understood the language, the way they worded it, and I did do that, and it ended up being, I think I should have come out further. I think I should have came out at least another 1/4 of an inch, maybe right there. And this would have ended up better, because what's happened is it has give in it. Our tub is, I don't know if you can see this, but kind of dips down right here, and this is hanging right on the edge of that. So it would have been better for this whole thing to bend over this way. When you don't know what you're doing and you're not a pro, there's certain things you just don't know what to look for, or to look out for, or to think about. And since I didn't know, I just Googled it, and it said 3/4 of an inch, and that's what I did. And it should have been, maybe I didn't understand the language, or if I would have just had some knowledge of how to do this. Like down here, it's fine because the tub flattens out right here. But here, it starts dipping down with the angle. I don't know if you can see it on that side. Kind of goes, and as it gets to the middle, it gets closer to that edge. It's the same thing over here. Oh well, I'm filling it in with a bunch of, I'm hoping that it'll hold and do a good job of using this and whatever hybrid technology. Sorry, this stuff. So I hope it works well. I just bought a new caulk gun. This one was really struggling to push out stuff, and I figured it was the gun because it didn't make sense. It's been hard to do everything. So anyway, this is what I'm using. Should work out well. I actually did a redneck thing. We were trying to figure out what to put, maybe to fill in a little bit underneath. And so I took a slice of this styrofoam and just slid it up underneath there to act as a little bit as a filler. I wanted to find some like plastic. Valentina suggested metal, but I think over time that metal would rust underneath there. And I don't think anything will ever happen to styrofoam, and it'll just give it a little support in there. And then I siliconed it in, or whatever this stuff is, hybrid I don't know what to call it because it's not really caulk. It's not really silicone. It's called AMP, Advanced Modifier Polymer. Maybe I'll just start calling it AMP. Anyway, all right, back to work. All right, got another thing going. These things were flopping all over the place. I feel better now that I've got the guides in there. Yeah, they're not going nearly as bad. Something that's showing the directions was both of these going underneath the door. See how I've got this one under the door. They're showing both sides being able to have them under the door, and I could not figure out the combination for that because this can't lift up high, can't come up off of here high enough to be able to slide these in on those. It just won't work. So anyway, I'm fine with that. I mean, you can't see it, and I think it'll work fine. All right, so how you guys liking our closet? Valentina's already filled up so much of her stuff. It still needs a lot of rearranging, but she's joking that she's high maintenance. She's not really high maintenance in so many ways. She's not, but she does have a lot of clothes, and she knows it, and she admits it. So we all have our things, right? All right. Well, and she saved the cedar from the job that I did. She wants to be able to cut them up in pieces or slide them in between clothes or just in convenient places to help make this place smell a little bit better. But I think I showed you guys when I put this in. I put a strip of cedar here, and I also hid a few pieces up and underneath some of these. I got up and underneath and screwed stuff in there where I feel like moths could go or something, you know, just kind of keep things fresh in there, and then places where bugs might go and now they won't, the places that you can't see. And it's nice we got lights in here working. Pretty cool. All right, let me see what next project I got to find.